Recording. Let's get this show on the road 45 minutes behind schedule.
Only.
Because fuck it, why not? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 106 of the Maritime Milson Podcast. My name is Brad Odell, and with me I have the always friendly and exciting... Sorry, I just totally derailed myself there, but we have Guardian.
I didn't know who you were introducing.
I kind of forgot like halfway through. I was like, I don't remember.
I was getting ready to call him out.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have Guardian. We have Tuna.
What's up?
And we have last minute special guest, Nightmare PB, the sponsored MCS player.
Oh, hold on, man. I just want to gotta calm down here for a quick second. I just gotta gather myself here, and I just want to say that I'm really excited to be here on the show with you guys here today. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
We love having you, buddy.
Thanks for joining us.
That was beautiful.
I love being here. It's like my home away from home.
Felt.
That's right.
That felt good. So we have absolutely zero plan for tonight's show. We originally had one. We were going to have a gentleman on to talk about Commando Paintball and their D-Day event. Mostly about the field itself, though. We're going to talk about the D-Day event later. But unfortunately, real life got in the way. He couldn't make it on. Not a big deal. We have our side guest, Nightmare.
Wow.
I was going to say something else. But
Hey, you know how to make a guest feel welcome. Last week it was like, so I've just got Tuna with
right?
me.
Right? All I've got is Tuna. Deal with it. Deal with it. The gloves are off. Yeah, so unfortunately...
I feel like I'm some sort of side piece now.
You are.
Like, I'm just that guy you call when your
chick.
other guest doesn't show up.
Yeah.
You weren't even our first call.
Ouch.
Right?
I canceled my live gaming stream for this.
Yes, it's a loss. Anyways, so the whole plan, unfortunately, has been sidetracked. We're going to do that next week. We're going to have, I believe his name is Stefan, on next week to talk about D-Day. It's going to be a good time. So this week, we have honestly nothing. We couldn't think of a damn thing to talk about because we're, the beginning of March. Middle of March? End of March?
Yeah,
I've lost track of time.
3/4.
I've been stuck in Newfoundland too long. I've lost track of time. End of March, and it's a dry time of the year for paintball.
Hey, it's only dry if you're not willing to drive to the event, right, Tuna?
That's right. We even had to. Nightmare and I were supposed to ride up together to go to the event out in Hillsborough. It was Siege of Warsaw 3.
Yeah, 3.
And I got up at like 6 a.m. to go drive over to Nightmare's place, and I put my key in the door of my car and just wouldn't turn. And after 20 minutes of being like a sleeping idiot, I finally called CAA, and the guy's like, "Oh, I just spray some WD-40 in it," and it just fucking opened right up. So by then, Brian had to hit the road already because he had to get paint for the event. So you had to cruise, out to the Seabreeze guys and get that?
Yeah, man. I had to go way out to middle of Cole Harbor at like stupid o'clock in the morning before hitting the road for a 3.5 hour trip to Hillsborough due to a beautiful detour.
Yeah.
A last minute detour. Like, honestly, okay, get this. I'm traveling along with all this paint. I'm happy as a clam. Good as can be. I'm thinking I'm going to be a little bit late. So I'm on the main stretch. I'm on my way to Hillsborough, that last long road before you make that one left turn. Suddenly, this big detour sign comes up. I'm like, no way. No. It says, turn right. I'm like, okay, I'll turn right. So then, usually my GPS updates me and lets me know that there's construction in the area or a detour. No, it just keeps trying to reroute me back to the main strip. And I see a sign that says, Hillsborough, 22 kilometers on this back road that is no better than a logging trail at this point. It's so beat up. And I'm going, oh, my car's going to hate me.
Yeah, how did the Mazda handle that?
Oh, dude, it still hates me.
You're lucky you didn't like go through all the potholes that I did and end up with like broken paint in everyone's bags when they showed up.
Oh, man, that would have been so bad. Like, oh, here's all your paint, boys.
You would have been chased out of the town.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I just want to say I did whatever it takes to get this paint here, and it just whatever it took just wasn't enough. And I deeply apologize.
I did my best. It didn't cut it. Fuck you guys.
Hashtag
But oddly
whatever
enough,
it
my
took.
bag of paint didn't break, so this one's mine. And
Right.
here you guys all go.
Right? Just right before your trip, you just crack open a box, put the bag on your lap, and be like, that one's mine.
It's strapped into the seat beside me.
Yeah,
Safety
passenger.
first.
This
Strap that bad
is
boy
mine.
in.
This is mine.
Like a temperature controlled, humidity controlled box, like just perfectly.
We call
Just
them
good to go
coolers.
the entire day.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
not
man.
all of us got to shoot first strike tuna.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I actually had the lucky status of being the only person at event shooting first strike while everyone else was shooting round ball. So I had a pretty good day.
Nice.
I got a
Nice.
few eliminations to say the
So-
least.
So you were the prick. Got it.
Yeah, except so it was I don't know. I guess I was told that I had to shoot at 260 FPS with the first strikes when round ball was shooting at 280, and I don't mean like chrono, so that way when I'm like shooting, chrono, so my round ball would end up being 280. Like shooting first strikes at 260 flat, so when I'm shooting round ball, it's probably about 240. So I was shooting that, and then halfway through the day, I mentioned that, and the like host of the event, the owner of the field, was like, "Why are you shooting 260?" He's like, "You can
Some
shoot
clown told me
280."
to.
So, yeah, so I pretty much, ended up shooting. I didn't get the best use of the first strikes, but I only had about 80 of them or so left. So I basically just brought like a mag or two out with me each time and popped them in whenever I needed it. But yeah, it did mean those other 6 mags that I had with me that were round ball did not exactly have the range I was hoping for most times. But
I just want to say that I made a fantastic decoy. Like,
oh yeah, I
That
saw your
strategy
post
that
about
you and
that
I
too.
deployed was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you take 2 people who are rocking GoPros on their faces, and suddenly you become the largest targets on the field.
Naturally.
Yeah,
Well,
we squatted up for the day, Nightmare and I, and basically they just knew like wherever one of us was, the other one was close by, and we ended up like holding down for a game that I guess our side won relatively quickly. We ended up running out the clock by just holding down the weak side, the 2 of us. So it was pretty awesome. I had it was a solid day for sure.
I still haven't even checked my footage. I'm so nervous that like for that being my last game for the little while, that if the footage didn't turn out the way I want it to, I'm going to be incredibly upset.
Oh
So, like,
man,
My GoPro is still already sitting here right in front of me at my computer, and I haven't even cracked open the case yet. I'm like, I'm nervous. What if I didn't get good footage?
it's Schrodinger's box of footage. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not
As long as
bad
I don't
footage
open it,
if
it's
I
good.
don't open it. Yeah.
It's right. It's good footage as long as I don't look.
Yeah.
Well, I already know that some of the footage is going to be upside down. I can fix that. But instead of on my wide field of view, I'm on a narrow field of view. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Especially that game where we were holding it down pretty tight. I know that was on a narrow field of view.
Well, that's funny because I actually looked at mine, and because of all the woods, you actually might luck out with that and get a little better shot of them. Because on the wide field, the targets are sadly fairly small in the woods. So
Accidental win. I'm okay with that.
there you go.
Although the one piece of footage I'm really, really hoping came through is that paintball freak out.
Oh,
my
yes,
God, it
yeah,
was
that
so
was pretty
funny.
fucking good.
Okay, you're gonna have to
I've
explain
never seen
paintball
someone-
freak out.
Okay. So, and I know he's okay with me talking about this because he can't wait to see the footage himself. Everybody in the maritime community knows Kilted Scotian.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
yes.
He brought out some new markers, one of them being his airbow and a couple other various toys. So we're going to say like well over $1,500 worth of paintball gear.
Yeah.
And none of it was working for him. So marker goes down out time after time after time, game after game. I don't think the dude played a solid game all day. And by the second to last game, he had enough. And I was expecting him to take his marker by the barrel and smash it against the bunker that he was behind, because everybody on the field just stopped because he just went off, just yelling at anybody who would listen to him. It was priceless.
It
It
was.
was just, I bring blanking $1,500 of blanking gear to this blanking field, and I can't play a blanking game. And he just went. I was shooting, and I literally stopped. I was inside the train. I put my marker down and leaned against the wall and just watched. I was like, this is going to be good. And And then I lean back. I'm like, hey guys, get over here. And like everybody just starts running over and just starts watching this freak out. It was amazing. Like, and so he storms off into the field, of course, or into the staging area. And when we all go back, we're all laughing about it. Like to the point where he finally started feeling better about the freak out because we thought it was funny and we didn't actually, think any less of him. Right. He was it was one of those morale-raising moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't freak out at like any players. He was just like, it's not like he like caused a fight or anything. He just got upset at what,
his gear.
He didn't shoot
and
somebody in
don't
the
forget,
back.
and he traveled that same 3.5 hours we did, right? So you can imagine on top of that, you're excited to play with your new gear. He was like a kid in the candy store with that airbow in the morning, and then in the end, I didn't see exactly what. Oh, you think his like the string or whatever came off one of the wheels on it, so the compound bow. So he was just like fuck for the day.
Question is, has he ever used a compound bow before? Because I feel like the air bow is only good for anyone who's actually experienced with compound bows.
I don't know, actually, and that's what I was wondering. I didn't know whether he had like the compound bow already and then got the air bow kit. Or
right,
actually, or is it just like one big marker? I don't even really know.
Yeah, because I feel like if I were to pick up an airbow, I wouldn't have a fucking clue what I was doing.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Like I'd be like, oh, draw back and let go, and I'd be like, this is great, but I don't actually know what I'm doing.
And I held it and I did the drawback on it, and it's fucking hard, man. Like, I'm not a giant guy, but it would be difficult. If you're thinking you're doing rapid fire with that thing, you're mistaken. Like, to get that thing set all the way back into position.
Maybe it's set too high. Can you set compound bows high?
He said it was chronoed at 270, 270, 270 when he put it over every single time.
Fine and all, but because my understanding, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, if I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's with compound bows is you pull it back and everything sort of locks into place. So I thought they were designed so that you could pull back with a lot less strength but get a lot more power when you let go. So maybe he's just like got the string set wrong or the tension set wrong on it, or I don't know. I don't know how they work, so I don't know if you can actually adjust the tension on one.
I think you can, so it's certainly possible, I think.
So
if anyone's really familiar with it, they could message us and we could point them in the direction.
If anyone listening has any idea how to use an airbow or anything like that, let us know, because I don't know the first thing about compound bows. So I wouldn't even, like, how do you chrono that? How do you chrono an airbow? It's just, I don't know. So anyways, something to learn. I don't know. Carry on, fellas. You guys keep talking. I missed the Siege of Warsaw, and I'm upset that I missed it. And,
well, what was kind of different about this time, and at first when you kind of drive all that way, kind of the opposite of what I was talking about Dominion, is the numbers were a little bit lower than we had thought. They were kind of, 10 on 10, maybe even like 8 on 8 at some points, I think. And compared to the last time when we all made it out there, it was about 20 to 25, I think, on each team. So, we're about a third of the lesser players, but it actually made for like a really good day because we just broke the field up into smaller pieces, and we'd play like just the junkyard area or just the train area, and it kind of made for this, like, you could move around a bit more, because there was so much space. Like, with only 7 people on the other team, if 1 or 2 of them is hit or respawning, you can actually move like a decent part way up the field. And so it made us like really make use of it. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it, almost maybe more than when there was a ton of people out there.
Yeah, it's funny, eh? Sometimes the big numbers really help, and then there's other times where the big numbers actually tend to hinder. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it all comes down to the field. I mean, if your field isn't set up for 400 to 1,000 players, it's never going to work. But when you have what's started off as a junkyard, but now becoming a greater and greater paintball field, that low number makes it so much more fun, especially when you're clearing that train and you don't know if, like, you both have the same opportunity to get on it, both teams with small numbers. You don't know by the time you get up halfway, is that your teammate in front of you? Or is that the enemy in front of you?
Or behind you. Like, we've had that issue.
Or yelling out that he can see your toe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stressing the entire time. Like, oh, it was so bad, but so good.
Right? It really is. That train is a ton of fun. I can't wait to
And
play it
actually,
again.
the cool part is that the field owner was telling me that they're actually getting a third train.
Oh,
Yep.
sweet.
And it's going to be one of the open cars again, like the dining car. And his idea, and I couldn't really wrap my head around it just yet, but maybe if he's listening, he'll chime in later on as well, is that he said he wants to split the car basically into two levels and have like an up and down.
Yep.
So
I
I
know
don't know whether. Yeah. So like my thoughts are trying to think of that. The car is only like 7 feet tall. So breaking into the top up and down wouldn't really give you a whole lot of space. So maybe he's thinking of like cutting into the floor or the ceiling to kind of open it up.
You can't really modify. You can't physically modify the trains that way. Like busted windows and stuff like that is easy, but those trains, as far as I understand, are technically on loan from the train museum.
Yeah.
And we're fucking ruining them. But
I don't think they're ever getting them back, to be honest.
No. What I heard, they
internals-
couldn't afford to keep them anymore.
yeah, it's the internals, like the inside of the train is fine. It's the shell of the train that everyone is worried about. Like that's what they really want. And I think what he was talking, because I was talking to him a couple months ago. I went over to his shop. I happened to be in Moncton, and went over to the field, and he was working, and we're just like shooting the shit for 2 hours. It was great. Is he wants to figure out a way to get people on top of the train.
Yes.
So don't know how yet, because you need to do it in such a way that people can't fall off.
Right.
But find a way to have somebody inside, so you could have somebody in the bottom of the train, and then have somebody on top. And I believe most of the trains have an access hatch in the middle.
Oh my god!
I believe you're right. Yeah.
So
and there's a couple of accesses through the floor too that they closed up.
Yeah. So if you open the hatch on the top, let's say you put wooden bunkers like around the top of it, right? Just
Right.
something so somebody couldn't fall off, and just put a ladder down the middle. Even if it was something simple like a rope ladder, you scurry up the ladder and now you're on top of the train. But you got to take that risk of, are you willing to get stuck on top of the train?
Right.
Because if your team loses the train on the inside, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, exactly. You'll just be watching those ladders like crazy. Reminds me of like old school Call of Duty, where like every roof you get on the top of had like two ladders, and you're constantly just like checking them back and forth.
Yeah. Exactly. If that's his plan, I can't wait. He's got some crazy ass ideas.
Well,
Amazing.
and
ideas.
another thing I brought up is because he said one of the things that he really liked is when he opened up the field was that he didn't design, and I thought he made some good points, was that he didn't design any building to be like a fortress. He's like, you don't want something that's so defensible that it can't be taken. He's like, every bunker should facilitate moving. He's like, because we're playing with kids sometimes. And he's like, and sometimes we're playing with splat masters and they only have 15 or whatever shots it is. He's like, you want people to be able to run around and move and not just be like, this is the bunker that if you hold down, you win the game. And so he was talking about adding a few other bunkers in some key spots. And it sounds like he's got the right ideas. Like he's really thinking everything out right away and making sure that no matter what, like people are always moving up and down the field, that there's not going to be those stalemates at like the 50 where everyone just like slams into each other. So, and to me, that's number one. Like it's the shit.
Yeah, it's he's got these crazy wild ideas, and some of them are totally doable and easy to accomplish. And other ones are so harebrained that I would love to see them implemented, but I wouldn't even know how to do it. But you're absolutely right. He loves to change up the field, and he pays attention to where stalemates are occurring, and he is trying to fix that. Because I've noticed with his field that there's that natural line. There's the trench,
Yes.
which ends up becoming a natural line. But on more than one occasion, we've broken and been broken on that line, and I've seen both sides lose or take it, and then it like falls back to the trains, and then you either take or lose the trains, and then it's back and forth and back and forth. So his field,
And then you get stuck in the trains, and you lose your respawn, and you and Atuna have to hold it down as long as you possibly can.
right, while you're defending against your own teammate.
Yeah, on the other side.
The thrill of it, right? Just the thrill of the game. Fantastic.
I love that field. Honestly, like I want more CQB.
He's got.
And I think
so,
that's what does it for me, is that the CQB feel on that field.
He's got these ideas. I was talking to him, and I think I talked about this in his previous show, but I was talking to him, and he was asking my opinion on like the average experience level of the players that come to the field. He was asking, like, trying to get an idea of how adventurous the players are. And I said, you're always going to have the crazy 10 or 12 people that'll do anything. And he said he wants to organize. He doesn't know when or how, because the insurance company, I'm sure like his insurance agent would just have an aneurysm right then and there. Is he wants to do Black Diamond. Basically, you show up, you sign a waiver saying, I'm signing my life away. I can't touch this organization or this business by any means whatsoever. And he goes, okay, here's the rules. Wear your mask. Only shoot paintballs or first strikes. Got to be chronoed at 280. Other than that, go nuts. No off limits. Nothing is off limits. Want to go on the roof? Go on the roof. Want to climb a ladder? Climb a ladder. You want to, hide underneath the train? You hide underneath the train. There's nothing.
To me, that is the perfect game, because I kind of miss that sometimes. I think, like, I brought up Platoon Leader before, which was actually an 18-plus game. Like, you had to be older than 18 to play. And it was because that was it. Like, if you wanted to climb a tree, climb a tree. Like, if if the snipers are going to shoot 300 FPS, fucking go at it. Like, that's what the rules were. And it was honestly the best game ever. And I think where this kind of could go on a tangent here, but what I kind of think sometimes is that we cater paintball too much to children, to kids. And I know that goes against a lot of we need to grow the sport and get the kids in. And yeah, that's great. Like, we'll get kids in and their parents will bring them out and they'll probably spend $20 a week on a bag of paint. And, on Sundays when they have to go to church, they won't show up, or whatever else, right? Like, they're kids. They don't have the money that like grows, really keeps the sport going.
Right.
And I think, like, by catering certain events or more to adults, one, you're getting into the market that really can afford to go out there and play. And secondly, Brian and I were joking about this before at the field. I think one of the ways to make paintball grow is to make it look fucking cool. Yeah. And one of the ways you make it look fucking cool is by not babying it and not putting padded corners on everything. And we can't even have fucking stairs. We have to have ramps. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Which, you know what, to be perfectly honest, I think ramps are slightly more dangerous, because have you ever tried to walk on a ramp that's covered in like 6 months worth of paint?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what kind of fucking tread you have on your boot, you're eating it.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Unless you're, of course, wearing original SWAT combat boots.
Oh, shut up.
We all want an original SWAT sponsorship, Brian. Come on, give us a bit.
I think that's every Milsim or MagFed player's goal, is to get like original SWAT behind you.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm going to swing the other way. I'm going to try and get Oakley behind. I'm going to get Oakley boots. You ever see those? Those are fucking Cadillac combat boots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Touche.
I was going to say.
And you can have gloves.
Yeah. I was going to talk about the growing the sport thing of making it cool. And I'm fucking tired of growing the sport. I'm tired of the hashtag. What I'm tired of is how come grow the sport is suddenly and always online. It always seems to be about the kids. Why do we care so much about the kids?
Yeah.
I love the fact that we can get kids into paintball. I love the fact that we can get kids playing Splatmaster, and there's another one, but I can't remember the name of it. And you know what I mean? You got 50 cal, low impact. I love that. I love that. Like if I'm paintballing and my kid goes, oh, I want to paintball too, but they're 5. Well, you go, sweet, you can play Splatmaster, and then little Johnny gets their own marker like Dad, and that's super cool. And then that kid hopefully turns to grow up into, a full-time paintballer. But the problem is that there's no money in it. There is money in getting 20 to 25-year-olds who grew up on Call of Duty and Battlefield, and you look at them and go, hey, buddy, you want to do that for real? Like, that's
Hey, Hooligan, now that you bring that up, it kind of brings me back. I'm having flashbacks here.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it.
And I think a lot of it has to do with a video I posted earlier of a clan that used to play together a certain game. And suddenly those 2 players that used to play that game all the time are now on the battlefield shooting paintballs at each other.
Yeah, so long story short.
I see where you're going there.
Right? Exactly. it's almost as if me and Nightmare used to play on a clan on Call of Duty back in the day, and now we paintball because that's even cooler. I want to see paintball get cooler. I want to see it look cooler. What's better? Watch then, like, you watch a video online, and I'm gonna use HK because HK makes amazing videos.
Oh my god, yes.
And I know that like the secret sauce is dubstep, and like, but
well, we shoot that much paint.
But you watch like definitely... the living. Actually, don't even watch HK. Watch HK's videos, but check out the Living Legends videos.
Oh,
that has got
I have a playlist that has those on them,
right?
Because
so
that used to be like my psych up before I go playing paintball.
Right. It's got that mixture of speedball, mag-fed, pump, stock, custom, whatever the hell the max loader is considered. Like, it's everything is mixed in there, and you see all these players, and they're in costume, they're in combats, they're in jerseys, they're in T-shirts, and they're all having a blast, and they're power sliding, and they're jumping through windows, and it just looks so much fun. Why wouldn't you want to do it? And then you've got this huge movement, which actually I think is losing steam, to be honest, of grow the sport, get the kids into the sport, get the kids into the sport, get the kids into the sport. And it's like, how do you make Splatmaster look cool? You can't. You have to get them into it. They have to play it to understand. And even then, the kids got to actually enjoy it. So how about we dump some money into getting adults with disposable income to play our sport rather than trying to convince parents to spend $15 a week on Splatmaster.
Like, I mean, like Splatmaster is a great way to start into it. And I mean,
absolutely,
there's so many groups out there already that are so focused on children and getting gear to kids and promoting it to kids. But you're right. What about the adults?
Right.
I see my demographics online of the views I get in the run of a week, and my main demographic happens to be the 18 to 34-year-old.
Exactly.
The people with money, the people who go, wait a second, I played paintball back when, in my 20s, and what you're doing here, is that seriously what paintball looks like now? It's like, yes, paintball has evolved. That sport you tried once at your bachelor party years ago is now blown up.
Right?
It's changed the game 100%. Like, come on out, try it out. If you ever see me on the field, I'll lend you my stuff. You can go out and play around.
Right.
Like
when I tell people that I paintball, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've paintballed once or twice." I'm like, "Cool. You went to a field, you rented gear?" They're like, "Yeah." I was like, "How's the mask?" It was garbage. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Check this out. This is a picture of me wearing, a Dai 4 and rocking the TGR2, and they're just like, "That's a paintball gun?" Like, yeah, it is. And I feel as badass as I look. Carry on.
Oh yeah. Do you know, like, what I've started saying was, like, if I'm explaining to somebody who's like, like a peer or something, like, like even somebody at work, coworker, whatever, instead of saying like, oh yeah, I go and play paintball, I say like I play competitive paintball. And I mean, we do with the MML or with MegFed Mania. And that kind of just, people are like, oh, like, what is competitive paintball? Like, oh, you can do more than just like shoot each other in the ass for fun at a birthday party. Like, there's actually people who have events and sports and prizes and sponsorships and companies. And, it's much more like a real sport than you would really expect. And, and so, I find that's kind of the term that I've started using. And people tend to take to it pretty well, I would say, that they kind of understand the difference when you say, we're doing this competitively, not just for fun, I guess.
Yep. The way I try to open up the conversation is rather than just saying like I play paintball, because a lot of people immediately assume like rental field, right? I think when a lot of people say, "Oh, I play paintball," I think you're immediately lumped into like I play laser tag. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like the same level.
I LARP in the park,
right? I tell, like, if some people will ask me when I got here to Newfoundland, they're like, "Yeah, so what do you do?" And I was like, "Well, I'm a sponsored paintball player." And they go, "Sponsor?" And I go, "Yeah." And then that's when the conversation starts, and I can show them what I do. And that's when a lot of people get excited. I had like 5 or 6 40 to 50-year-old women who were all just like, "We should go paintball again," because they'd done it like once as like a corporate team building exercise. Nice. And I was showing them a bunch of pictures, and they were like, "That was a lot of fun. We should go do that again." Like, they got right excited. It was the best thing ever. It was a blast. It was awesome.
There we go. Screw the 18 to 35-year-olds. We're looking for the 55 plus. They got nothing but free time and income, right?
Right. They got free time, income, and they don't care.
Great insurance.
It's like, hold my teeth. I'm going in.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I so see a patch.
Working on it.
Hold my teeth. I'm going in. Oh my God, dude. No.
I'm already texting the graphic design guy.
I feel like that's like one of those $1 million T-shirts you could make and just be like, with the old yellow smiley or whatever. You could just make that. Hold my teeth. I'm going in. And just like sell it on eBay for sell like 10,000 of them.
Right. Okay. No, I'm already like the message has been sent.
Oh God.
That's all right. I'm on the patent office already. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm already on
We'll have
the
a
patent
copy written before the show goes.
Yeah. Patent pending.
Patent pending.
Right before the end of the show, we'll have this shit patented, trademarked, and copyrighted.
That should just be our new podcast motto. Hold my teeth. I'm going in.
Oh my God.
Okay, so if everything goes
T-shirt.
according to plan and based on the design guy, hopefully I'll have a patch within a month and a T-shirt within a couple weeks, and we'll see what happens.
God.
But that's happening. It's just going to be Maritime Milson podcast. Hold my teeth. I'm going in. No, better yet, the seniors division. Hold my teeth. I'm going in.
Okay, no, we need to get that for Derek and Jason.
Right?
Yeah, the two old men. Yeah,
The 2 old men at Seabreeze.
I know a couple guys on the CEF team who could probably use that as well.
This is also now the title of this episode. So everyone got a really good kick out of the No Pants podcast. This is just going to be episode 106. Hold my teeth.
Yeah, this is getting a share. I think that title itself just earned itself a share.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Okay.
What the fuck were we talking about again?
I don't remember anymore, man.
I got a bunch of
making the sport look cool to old people.
yeah, I got a bunch of middle-aged women excited about paintball.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, that still kills
Great
me.
to segue into a new topic from that one. Yeah.
Right? Absolutely.
Oh, that was too perfect.
Yeah. Oh.
So, is anybody else going for surgery this week? Anybody?
I thought it was on Monday. That's what I was going to ask you. Actually, did you have your surgery this week already?
No, man. It's this Monday coming up.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So, note to all players out there: if you don't feel right when you step on the paintball field or before you head out, maybe you shouldn't that day, because something could be wrong and you might aggravate the living shit out of it. So, long story short,
a good chunk of the season. Hopefully not, but you're already down about half the season.
Doctors say. I've got some doctors saying back on my feet, like I could go for a run within 3 weeks, and I've got others saying like, no, dude, you're going to be on your ass for 2 months. I was like, okay, like, thanks for the vote of confidence there.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when they, dig into your knee and start taking stuff out, right?
Are they? Did you have like a tear, or are they doing it like my buddy tore his like the meniscus in his knee and his ACL, and then they put a dead person's ACL in his leg? Are you getting anything like that?
No.
That's so metal.
No, jeez, man.
Yeah.
That just made me like, my stomach just turned a bit. So I just found out, I think, when was it? Yesterday, that I've got a large tear in one of my meniscus, and on the other side, same knee, I've got a small tear. So I've actually got 2 tears in the same knee. So if I would have twisted any harder, I could have easily had 2 large tears, ripped my ACL and my MCL. Ooh. So I'm very lucky on that point. But no, it's just the meniscus. So they're either going to go in, they're going to cut out what's broken, or they're going to try to sew it back together. If they just cut it out, I'll be back up on my feet in no time. Good to go.
Cut it out.
Maybe a little bit of movement loss, but whatever. Yeah. But if they repair it, I'm going to be on my ass for a lot longer than I want to be. So it's kind of like the repair would probably be better in the long run, but just taking it out will get me back on the paintball field that much faster. So it's like really weighing my options, and I'm not going to find out what happens until I wake up. That's the gist of it.
They won't know until they get in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't have an option at that point. I'm asleep.
Yeah, they can't ask you what you want.
They're gonna put a mask on my face and go count back to 10. I'm like, no, screw you. I'm not counting back to 10. And then I'm gonna wake up and go, damn it. And then my knee's gonna be all swollen. So yeah, fun times.
Sweet.
So I really don't get to
gone
say in it.
Have you ever gone under anesthetic?
Oh yeah. This will
okay.
be my 3rd surgery.
Nice.
Oh damn!
I've had various other things, but yeah, like it all is like
I was gonna say.
related.
Oh okay.
Like I had like huge tonsils when I was younger. I had my adenoids reduced, all this and that. But no, Tucker, that wasn't a sex change. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if everything was all right with your gentleman sausage.
You gentlemen.
Was it just not normal down there, Brian?
It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
I was getting some back pains. Too much fun.
There you go. Well, no shit. That is while we're joking around, that is like, we do wish you the best and hope you get back to the field pretty quickly. But yeah, I was glad to hit the field with you. At least the last time before the surgery.
Yeah, that was actually great. Like that was one of the things I mentioned to Tabitha when I got home. I was like, it was a really great day, and talk about the ups and downs. And I said, in the long run of it, I'm like, I'm glad I got to spend my last day with a good buddy of mine, because potentially, and I'm not to be a downer in any way, shape, or form, but I'm a realist. There is a small potential that could have been my very last paintball game.
I know, right? Like, because like shit happens, but while we're hoping against that,
Exactly.
I guess you gotta think about everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. That's why I played so hard that day. Like I was doing like slides. I'm like, if I'm going out, man, I'm going out with a bang.
Right? Exactly. Going for surgery, might as well get the whole fucking thing replaced.
That's what I said too. I'm like, you might as well really break it in for him. Be like, you'll see where it's swollen or see where it's ripped because it's all swollen because I fucked with it some more. So.
Yeah. Right? I know how much you surgeons are paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No free lunch on my ride.
On the plus side, I'm getting 2 weeks off work, so I'm cool with that.
Well, they're hot diggity. Right? There you go.
Exactly. So,
and like light duties afterwards, you were saying too, eh?
Oh yeah. So pretty much they're just going to give me when I go back to work, they're going to be like, here's a desk that you can sit at. And I'm going to do the same thing I told them when I first injured myself. I'm like, I don't think so. If you need me, I'm going to be on the floor with my cane helping out. So
right.
Yeah. If you need me, I'm out there.
I'll hand wrenches to people.
Yeah. Like I can still do my job, no problem. There's no going to be maybe I can't climb to the top of the helo, but I mean I can still supervise from maintenance stands and stuff like that. So
still hold a clipboard, yeah.
Right.
Clipboard. Laptops, man. This is the 21st century.
They're really the Canadian military? What, they have like iPad 1s?
No, they actually got like these G-Tac, like bang it against the wall, throw it off a cliff, still operates laptops.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I think it has like 1 meg of RAM. Like the line, of course.
It was cool in like 1997, and now it's just like a brick. Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
No, they're still manufactured like today. They're made by Panasonic.
Really?
No.
Yeah, it's like Panasonic was just like, cool, we need a laptop for like the 21st century that can take on a war zone. And they made one.
Ta-da!
Then they made tablets and handhelds and all sorts of stuff. It's actually pretty fucking cool stuff.
That is some pretty cool stuff.
Right.
Hey, they just announced Canadian budget came out today. I'm sure everyone was paying attention to that. More military spending. There you go, guys.
Hot diggity.
Hey, there.
Right?
I like new stuff.
Yeah.
Who doesn't, right? So I'm actually looking at like the G-Tac laptops because I was just like, hey, I wonder what these things are up to now. And lo and behold, you can't get a price.
Oh, of course not.
God, they're neat though.
Speaking of computers, man, I need to upgrade my hardware. Like, I bought a top-of-the-line gaming computer probably 5 years ago now. Let's just say she ain't top of the line no more.
Oh, buddy.
Like, back when having 10 gigs of RAM was like the bee's knees. But now I'm looking at my my graphics card and I'm like, oh, let's see what it would take to upgrade it. I'm like, okay, well, I've got like some NVIDIA 550 or something like that. I think they're like, what, 1,700 now or something stupid? Or 1,200? I was like, okay, no, I can't afford that.
No, you're looking at it wrong.
But either way, like, I looked at upgrading my graphics card, and it was like, okay, yeah, sure, you can get a graphics card, but now you need to upgrade your power supply. I'm like, all right, I can get a new power supply. But like, yeah, if you need a new power supply, you're probably gonna need a new CPU. I'm like, okay, look at the CPU. I'm like, oh, that means a new motherboard. Well, great. You know what? I'm just gonna build myself a whole new computer.
Yeah, buddy. At that point, like when you're that far behind, you're just gonna bottleneck after bottleneck. You got to catch up though, because my laptop's got a better graphics card than you right now. Actually, my laptop's pretty badass. It runs everything. So
hey, my graphics card puts out those sweet videos, so I'm not going to complain for that. But it can't stream worth crap. I've tried.
Yeah.
And here I am using like a MacBook with like 4 gigs of RAM and the fucking on the chip GPU with the CPU. Like, I tried to play Kerbal Space Program and I get like maybe 6 frames a second.
Oh, I love that game.
It is the shit, by the way.
You just need to slow down your mind enough to play that game.
It's just,
and I'm pretty sure you know how.
No, I love that game. Kerbal Space Program is fucking fantastic. Until you've after you've landed on the moon, and then you're just like, all right, now I got to do on bigger projects, and the science gets way too complicated. And you're just like, you know what?
Does it?
I'm gonna just fire stuff at things.
I got into it when it was fairly early on, and it didn't have like the science was stuff you could get, but basically you could get access to almost everything like right away, or the science instruments didn't actually do anything. So it was really just about like getting to the planets and back. And oh man, I had some crazy ships, like just nuts.
Just like
so
defies
much
physics.
But my computer couldn't handle it. And now, like, trying to segue back into paintball here. My computer for editing videos, these guys know I've been working on like a longer montage. Like I'd put out one, a year or so ago. And there's so many clips to it and so many changes to it that it's actually like the file on my computer for it, even though it's a 3-minute song, 3.5-minute song, is pushing 170 to 180 gigs.
Oh, wow.
And my computer is 250 gigs or 256, and I routinely have to strip like everything out of my computer to be able to like start creating a new like side movie. And I only found out recently, after picking up a 2 terabyte hard drive, that the program that I use won't let me like edit videos that are stored on like another device, basically. So I'm at this point where I'm like concerned that my video is going to get too big before I can even finish it on this computer, and then I have no idea what I'm going to do.
So your computer's the reason why your fans are yelling at me to tell you to start making more videos.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm going to blame the computer on this one instead of some laziness on my part.
No laziness on your part whatsoever, eh?
No, never.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Just honestly sounds like you just need to get not a Mac.
Yeah, except I've become like having a Mac that just works all the time has meant that like
until you want to do video.
But you know what? Yeah, well, it still works now. I'm just running out of space for it to work. But I'm actually, and it's funny because I'm not that. I used to be really good with computers. Like I used to code HTML websites, stuff like that. I'm pretty much a fucking idiot with computers now because my Mac just works all the fucking time, and I never really have to do any troubleshooting. You just click on something, it opens, and it works. And I like get to work, and I'm like with all these like old ladies or whoever else, and they're like asking me computer questions. I like know less than they do sometimes because I'm just not used to using PCs. I don't know if I'll like be able to make the switch back. I think I'm getting too old.
That's hilarious.
I'm just gonna go to some shop downtown and be like, look, I want to make cool videos and I want to be able to play video games and stream them at the same time. What do I need?
I'll build you a
Knowing
PC.
My luck, I'm going to come up with like a $3,000 computer and be like, I don't need half of this.
I could build you a PC for less than $1,000.
We shall
or
talk.
You could just buy a PlayStation 4. Fuck
no,
yeah.
no, none of that bullshit.
I don't want to actually game on the thing. I just want to be able to stream something and record the footage in HD in real time so I can chop it up, edit it, make cool ass gaming videos while I'm injured as hell and work on my second channel.
Less than $1,000.
Nightmare PB Unleashed.
I was waiting for it. I was going to ask, but I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to have to.
I'm the king of self-promotion, man. Come on now.
You really are. You really are.
Like there's
this comment on your page about you wake up in the morning and you're just like speaking to your wife and be like, by the way, you can save 10% on NCS.
Yes. Unanistan, the guy who makes my GoPro mounts for my paintball masks, he basically joked around on one of my posts that I made, and he says, I can just see the conversation now when you wake up. It's nightmare to wife. Good morning. You can save 10% at mcsus.com by using promo code NightmarePB. How was your sleep? Oh, my sleep was fantastic. But you can also save 10% at mcsus.com by using promo code NightmarePB. And basically, there's a whole conversation of me and my wife talking back and forth, and me just plugging my promo code every time. But, that being said, you can save 10% at mcsus.com by using promo code NightmarePB at checkout. Hey, and by the way, it works on clearance items. I tried.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so when you get all those items that are like 60% off already, you can save another 10 by using my promo code on top of it, which you couldn't do on the old Rap 4 website. I'm hoping that's not an oversight on their part, but if it is, take advantage of it while you can.
Yeah.
Don't let them know or anything.
Love you, MCS. Love you.
Right? Because Jesus, that's funny.
No, seriously, those guys, they're great guys.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. They're
I love them to pieces.
Right? Now, we gotta talk about two things. One, we gotta talk about the Fight for Asylum 6 game event coming up.
Yes.
So we've been putting up a poster and telling people to like and share the poster. And
you can't tell me what to do.
Shut up. And
suggesting
to be entered into a draw for a VIP package. So that is going to be drawn on next Tuesday. Well,
when we're finally live again, right?
March 28th, when we should finally be live again. And what the VIP entry is get you in for all 3 days and get you some paint. So it's equaled out to, I think we figured it out to be $155 is what it was worth, based on a full case of paint.
That's a good deal, man. That's a solid weekend of play. Like I'm hoping to make it out. I think I'll be able to. Not positive yet, but if I can, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Their big games are awesome, and I think this one kind of earlier in the season gets around like 400 to 500 players, and that's a good number for PRZ. Like that's a good number of players, so it's a really good time. Yeah,
it's. I'd love to be able to go. God, I'd love to be able to go back to PRZ, but alas, I can't. So at least I don't think I can. We'll see. Now
there you go.
So if you go on our Facebook page, you'll find the poster. Like and share it. Any of them.
But wait, what's your Facebook page? Maybe I'm new to this podcast and I don't know where to find you guys.
How did you find the episode then?
Perhaps somebody shared it through an external link, like Podomatic or iTunes.
Shut up. Okay, if you go to facebook.com/Maritime Milson Podcast.
Oh, thank you.
You'll find the poster. Like and share it, and share it if you can't. Please share it publicly. When you share it privately, I can't see that you've shared it. Right? I can see a ton of shares, but I can only see some of the names. So some people have been commenting share on it, which I'll take. That's fine. Now that's going to be a really good game. Synergy Productions is putting it on, so it's going to be a good game, I'm sure. I have no doubts about it, and I wish I could be there. So might as well win yourself a free weekend of paintball, or at least try to, anyways. Excuse me. Now on to the next thing, the Commando D-Day event. So,
D-Day,
right?
Yeah.
Commando D-Day coming up. It's going to be. The dates of the Asylum game. I should probably give the dates.
Oh, that's not important. Don't worry about that.
No, not important at all.
People figure that out.
Isn't that what Google is for? I'm pretty sure someone invented Google just to search that one thing.
Right. Go Google it. No, it's April 20th to 23rd. So at
3 days. Damn, that's awesome. I thought it was just a Saturday Sunday thing. That's sweet.
No. 3 days, some paint. So like and share it, and you'll be entered into the draw. Now, D-Day. That's the big one coming up in June. That is June 10th and 11th, I believe. I have to double check because I'm not good with dates.
Sounds.
Shut up.
Ballpark it. That's it.
Right, June 10th and 11th. It's almost as if those days are important. So that's going to be at Commando Paintball in Ottawa, Ontario. And it's going to be fantastic. We're expecting 1,000 players. Registration is live now. So if you go to commandopaintball.ca, I believe it's commandopaintball.ca, and go to the D-Day page, you can register. And you can pre-buy your paint and all that. So that makes it really convenient. If you don't know how much paint you're going to use, buy some more at the field. They have loads of paint. You don't need to worry about it.
Is there a registration cutoff for players?
No, you can. Well, I know you can do show up day of and just buy and go.
There's no registration cutoff like date wise. There is, however, an early bird and then regular. So it's $30 registration, and before June 3rd. After June 3rd, it's a $40 registration, and then your paint is $25 for a bag, $45 for 2 bags, and $80 for a case. And tons of special guests. Jeez, let's go down the list. Let's see. We got Sonny Lopez. We got Wolf. We got Aztec. We got Unanistan. We got us. We got Jesus, I'm forgetting one.
Sound it out.
Slim's going to be there. Sorry.
There we go.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be Reaper. And Dreadcam's going to be there. All sorts of people. It's going to be a blast. Tons of people are going to be there. It's going to be a good time. Can't wait. And there is the cutoff. Oh, and Greg Hastings. Should probably mention him.
He's kind of an important dude.
Yeah.
He's kind of done a lot.
A lot. There's no time cutoff, but there is a number of players cutoff. They are maxing it at 1,000 players.
That's a lot of people's.
Yeah, last year we had just shy of 800, and it was a blast. So this year they're aiming for 1,000. I'm sure we're gonna hit it. They've got a lot of great stuff planned. Day one, if you go onto their Facebook page, so if you look up Commando Paintball on Facebook, there is a whole, and we're gonna share it too. There's a whole agenda for Saturday. It's just insane. It starts at 10 o'clock. It doesn't stop till 8 o'clock that night. There's just a bunch of tiny events. Sonny Lopez is he's from the LA Hitmen. He's doing a pump workshop. So he's going to teach you how to play pump paintball properly. Reaper's got his pistol challenge going on. Max Tack and who else?
Tipman's doing a tech booth as well.
Yeah, and Tipman and a third person, a third team, I can't remember who, is doing a tech. They're doing teardowns, so they're going to do troubleshooting and teching. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a blast. Cannot wait. We're going to be there. We're going to do a live show from the field, probably 2 live shows. We might do one Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to go live from the field. That's going to be a blast. Can't wait. I'm so excited. Rain or shine, doesn't matter. It's happening. And that's it. That's all we got. One thing I want to...
don't forget the news. I got a little news we could go over.
All right.
News?
Yeah, we do news, or as we call it, what is it again? I'm already forgetting. Oh, uneducated opinions.
Uneducated opinion.
Yeah. We gather the bare minimum of information about a new product, then we wildly speculate on its features and what it might have.
Ooh.
We wouldn't have it either way.
All right, so I've got a good one to start us off here. So looking just a couple days ago, MCS posted up a video showing off some full auto capability on a few markers. But I don't think it was kind of what, I guess it kind of fell short of what a few people were hoping for in what the discussion afterwards. It doesn't look like it's a mechanical full auto. It looks like they're showing E-triggers on the markers. Brian, do you know much about this?
I actually haven't. I briefly saw the video. I didn't have time to actually fully watch it. But a lot of people were hoping that it was going to be the announcement of the magical PTR with the magical full auto capability that was supposed to be all mechanical. But unfortunately, that's not the case. E-triggers are much easier to produce on platforms that already exist. So a lot of people were upset about that, but that's the way it is. In order to make the current model 468 become full auto, you would have to redesign a whole new grip system and a whole new lower. Plus the internals would have to change. So basically you're looking at a whole new marker to get a full auto capability out of the current 468, which just isn't going to happen.
Well, and I think it makes sense too, because I don't know. I mean, the T15, you know, I mean, it's a blowback as far as I understand as well. And for their full auto kit is like $200 US. Like I pointed out before that is not much less than a Milsig that already has mechanical full auto. So like you could just get a whole new second marker. So I think you're right. I think for MCS to try to work the 468 into mechanical full auto is either going to cost a shitload for an add-on kit or like a whole new lower, or they're just going to have to do it as a whole new marker. And I guess one of the comments was back is that someone asked, when will we see 468, full auto? And the reply was, not really anytime soon. Like it's not really even in the works. It seems like
it's not a priority. Like the truth is, and from the rumors I've heard, the PTR will probably never see the public hands.
That makes sense.
It'll stay in the less than lethal market.
It is, and it's what it's designed for. The purpose of that marker is going to be for the less than lethal, for their military contracts or police contracts, which is a huge other division of MCS, known as Defense Innovations, and that is a whole different side of the house. So now things can mirror, right? So what starts to do well on one side of the house could mirror back to the other side of the house, whether it be from paintball to less than lethal, or from less than lethal to paintball. So never say never on it, but definitely not right now.
Right.
In my opinion, full auto will not make you a better player.
Oh,
and I think a lot of people that I've seen like when I do browse comments, they have this mentality that if you can't go full auto, you're not a good player. And I know this is a whole other topic for a whole other day, but I can keep, and the keyword here is suppression. I want to suppress people. I can suppress somebody with 3 or 4 well-placed shots to either allow my teammate to move up and do his job, or to put my opponent's head down long enough for me to move to a new advantageous position for me to do my job.
Yeah.
So you like in all honesty, I mean, do you really need full auto?
I'll tell you, as a Milsig owner who has mechanical full auto, I almost never use it. There is I can think of like a handful of situations where it was like, holy fuck, there's a crowd of people.
Yeah, a crowd.
Let's get as many shots off as frickin' possible. And that's it. And honestly, and even other times I've come across a crowd, it's almost better to be able to actually take the moment and aim and fire, right? So, I mean, again, I've literally used mechanical full auto, and been like, God damn, thank God I had that, 4 times maximum.
And I know you've been rocking that Milsig for a couple of years now.
Exactly, 2.5 years. So no, it is by no means necessary. And if I was a T15 owner and the option was, hey, spend $200 US to get full auto, I'd be like, that's a joke. I would not. I don't see the value of a $200 US for us. I mean, pushing $275 expense on our end. To just gain full auto. Like I said, that when I bought my M17, it was $305. So, I mean, the Canadian dollar was a little more favorable then, but it's that just doesn't show value to me. So I'm definitely not surprised that MCS isn't, rushing to get that down the pipe as well.
I think it's a fad. It's just me. I've got full auto capabilities on my Hurricane, and in all honesty, I don't ever see myself using it. It just doesn't appeal to me. I mean, I play MagFed to not shoot as much paint. And
right.
That's literally what intrigued me about it, was going to the field, paying my $25, sometimes even $30, and that does me the day.
Yeah.
And I'm done. Whereas I see other people who, get the same amount of eliminations I do, if not less, and they bought a case.
Yeah, completely.
And I'm like,
agree.
Why? Why?
Yeah, I think it's a nice feature to have. It is by no means
it's
necessary.
so much fun,
by
though.
no means is going to make you a better player. It is fun as shit, though. I took a couple of young kids that came out to Seabreeze who were actually too young to play. Derek let them come on put masks on and then go up to the netted in area in the gallows and just watch. and they like had the time of their lives just watching. They're just a couple of neighborhood kids to the field, and they saw me use my pistol, and as we were walking off the field, they asked if they could shoot it, and so I gave each of them a Zeta, and they fired it off and had a blast. And then I took them up to the chrono and let them dump a full mag each in full auto, and their eyes lit up like it was Christmas. Like it was like they just Rambo'd an M60 like one-handed. Like it was like they testicles the size of grapefruits on these kids now. Like and so it's hilarious. So you're right. I mean, there's a time and a place for it. Is it necessary on the field? No, not at all. So yeah, so I mean that was one to see bring up. So again, MCS now just another little side product, again very small one, but also from MCS is they've actually started doing the butt stocks, I guess, like the tank covers for the butt stocks. They've added like a custom paracord option to it on the front handle. So just a little piece of customization, I guess they're putting out there now. So if anyone's ever interested in adding a little extra flair to their tank, the option is there for them now.
Yeah, it's very neat, and they're actually like very durable. They did some stress testing on them. I think I was on their last MagFed Weekly, and yeah, man, those things can take a beating. Like you're not gonna be just playing and you're like, oh, I've got a bunch of paracord hanging from my marker. Like if you're into paracord and that's your thing, like this would be for you. And I think it's like a very low additional cost. Like you literally select what butt stock you want. It's only one particular style. I can't remember the name of it off by hand, but it's just this one style. And then at checkout, you actually, or before you add it to your cart, you select your option of what color paracord you'd like to have added to it. It's very, very neat.
Yeah, I think it's just a nice little touch, right? It's not game changing or anything, but it's definitely one more thing where you can make your marker yours. And you're right. It sounds like it's just a couple bucks as well.
Hey, a little string goes a long way, right?
That's right. You get in a bind, maybe you got some paracord saves your ass one day. Yeah.
Hey, you never know. Maybe you're up in that tree in that no holds barred game, and you just want to rappel down, and you got this super strong paracord. That's all you got, and you're like, and then you just eliminated an entire team.
160
and then you submitted the clip to bonus ball.
Yeah. Okay,
So then,
what?
Oh, a couple more things on the news here.
Hurry up, buddy! You're running out of time.
All right.
Don't worry, you can edit this.
So actually, this one was different. I don't know if you guys saw this too. This one just went up a couple days ago. So from Echelon 14 Designs, created what he's calling the E14 fixed breech for the dam. So basically, it looks like they've machined an all metal breech for the dam. And normally, I'd be like, okay, that's cool, except that they're bragging for some pretty serious performance upgrades. So they're basically guaranteeing a 15 FPS velocity increase on the same airflow, and it has been recorded up to 30 FPS increase just by swapping the breech. It says there's no barrel binding created by torquing the screw set. It's got rugged construction, easier to clean. It says, although minor, the accuracy groupings are tighter. And it says brakes with beta testers were almost non-existent. So, I mean, basically, if a breech can do it, they're claiming this will do it better. And the interesting part is that it is, like 1 gram heavier, basically, than the original breech. And they're listing that as basically the only con, and that the signature sounds like it's slightly louder, but it was just no real data. That's just what people reported. So it's kind of interesting little upgrade that people could be looking for their dams. I don't know. I think 15 to 30 FPS, if you can kind of get that same performance with less air, you're talking more efficiency, right? So you're probably looking at a pretty decent increase in number of shots out of a 13 CI.
I mean, anything counts, right? So any amount of saving on air, you're just laughing no matter what.
Although, when was the last? Oh, go ahead.
I find my dams are already like the most efficient marker that I own for air. So, but if it can get more efficient, sweet.
Right? Why not?
Yeah. Well, I was going to take a jab at some dam owners here and say, when was the last time you saw a dam owner using a 13 CI?
When was the last time you seen a dam owner using a mag?
Right, yeah, exactly. Fox mag. Yeah.
I saw Jason play one time, and he had a dam with a mag in it.
Yeah, but I bet he had a 45 peanut tank on it.
Shh. It's way more comfortable there.
Much love.
It's that rugged firepower. Those 13 CIs just don't cut it for dam users.
No. The dams fire too smoothly.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool, and then, so, I mean, basically new product for that. And then the other one, of course, we touched on last week was MegFed Maker is continuing that sort of the HK program that he did, kind of one new release a day.
Yep.
So he's got a couple more of those that have come out as well. I haven't gone through to check out each model just yet, but if you hit up his Facebook page, I'm sure you'd see all the options there.
Guy's a mad genius.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options going.
Yeah,
amazing designs.
Yeah, he really does. Okay.
And I was going to bring up the GI warranty program change, but seeing we're at the end of the episode, I feel like that could be like a whole nother.
Let's wait till next week so that I can get a better grasp on what the hell exactly is going on, because they've sent out another press release of like the other one was vague. Here's a more detailed one, and the more detailed one seems to actually be better. So I want to get a better grasp on it. Yeah.
The one note that I did have about that, though, is that it looks like you've got until the end of April to get your existing Tipman and products registered on their website to still qualify for that lifetime warranty. So if you do have Tipman products or GI products, do go check that out, because I think that one's a little time sensitive there. So do some digging and just try to get as much info you can, because you don't want to miss the boat on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll touch on that one next week a little more in depth, because I want to study that and get a little more comprehension behind that one first.
A little more educated to our opinions this time.
Not so much that, but I don't want to be reading it while I'm on the air.
Gotcha.
I want to be able to
fair enough.
So one thing that I wanted to mention before we go: the Commando D-Day game. $30 entry, early bird, or $40 entry plus paint. One thing I forgot to mention, which is incredibly important, and I'm mildly ashamed that I forgot to mention it, is that this game, a portion of the proceeds of this game will go to what's called the Military Families Fund. It's a military family charity. So they support them. Last year they supported them. I'll have to get the numbers. I'll message the people at Commando and find out how much they donated last year. It is a significant chunk of change. We're not talking like a couple $100 here. We're talking thousands is being donated from this paintball game. So at the very least, you get to have a kick-ass day of paintball, meet some cool people, eat some roasted pig, and then sorry, I just totally derailed by my computer roasted making pig sound. Paintball, meet some cool people, eat some roasted pig, enjoy a bonfire, DJ, and then go home feeling good that you helped get money to a charity.
Awesome.
There, right? What you can't hate it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong.
You can
with
never
that.
hate charity ever.
Right. Absolutely. Well, some, but there's some sketchy charities out there. Anyway,
have I told you about my GoFundMe?
Just kidding. Don't even. That's actually a topic for another show. Is Patreon.
Yeah, I saw Hedgehog's post on that. It was interesting. Yeah. That is a good one to bring up. Yeah.
Right. So we'll talk about that next week. And fellas, thanks for coming on, Guardian, Tuna, Nightmare, I guess. Thanks for coming on, hanging out. It was a good time. I'm glad that we basically pulled a pretty decent show out of totally thin air with zero.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we only spend about 10 or 15 minutes talking about computers and gaming.
Shut up.
We can edit that out.
No, we can't.
Yeah. Okay.
We did. It was perfect. It was fantastic. It was a grade A show. There's nothing wrong with it. And to everyone watch or listening, because you can't watch us yet, we'll be back next week. We'll be live, excited, can't wait. Thanks for streaming it. Thanks for downloading it. Thanks for listening to us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, opinions, feel free to send them
to yourselves.
Complaints.
Feel free to send them to us. If you don't like what we're doing, I don't care. And but I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear that you don't like me. It's fantastic. Because what was it? Haters gonna hate.
I'm just gonna shake it off.
Right.
Dedicated listeners also. So.
Right? Absolutely. To all those haters who listen to the show, to hear us say something dumb, to then come to us and be like, no, you said this. Thanks for the listen. Thanks for the download.
Yeah.
You're the best. You're awesome. And hopefully next week we'll have 2 weeks. Hopefully in 2 weeks' time we'll have some goodies. Right? We'll announce some new stuff that we're gonna have for sale and giveaway. So you'll have to listen. You have to hang out and find out. Till next week, everyone. Cheers.